One type of relation is reflexive relation. A relation is said to be reflexive if you have all elements of type x comma x possible. Okay, I'll take an example and explain you. See this. First, the definition is like this: a relation capital R on a set capital A. So, what does it mean? A relation is defined on a single set. How is it possible? Just now I told you that a relation cannot be defined on a single set, right? But then they are saying that a relation is defined on a single set. What they really mean is this relation is a subset of A cross A. That is the meaning of it. Whenever a relation is defined on a single set, it means that the relation is defined on A cross A. Okay, so you can understand like this. In this case, R is what they are talking is R is subset of A cross A. Even though only A is given, that is the meaning of it. A relation R on a set A is said to be reflexive if small x, capital R, small x for all x belongs to A. How to read this? If small x is related to small x through R for all x belongs to A. So how to one other way of writing it is, if x comma x belongs to R for all x belongs to A. So it just means that if you are taking A cross A and if you have the elements of type x comma x, then all such elements should be present in R. Then only we are going to say that R is reflexive. So there are some interesting points on it. Before going ahead, we shall take a small example and we shall see it. See this one. Let us say A equal to 1, 2, 3. Then what about A cross A? A cross A will contain 3 into 3, 9. It is a big set. Okay, just for the sake of example, I am just taking all this for one example. Now A cross A will be 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3. So we have 9 elements in A cross A. Okay, and now A is a relation defined on A. Sorry, R is a relation defined on A, which means R should be a subset of this. Now they are saying that if there are any elements of type x comma x, then all of them should be present in R. Then only we can say that R is a reflexive relation. What they mean is, if R contains all the elements of type x comma x. What are all the elements of type x comma x? These diagonal elements, isn't it? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. If these three elements 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. If these three elements are present in any set, then that set is nothing but a reflexive relation, right? Therefore, R here is a reflexive relation. Now, what can you say about a relation R1? Which R1, let us say R1 is defined on A, which means A cross A. R1 is subset of A cross A. If it contains 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2, what can you say about it? Is this reflexive relation? It is not reflexive. Why is it not reflexive? Because here the definition says that for all x belongs to A, which means since 3 belongs to A, you should even contain 3 comma 3. It is not just enough that you get 2 elements. All the elements of type x comma x should be present there. 1 comma 1 should be present, 2 comma 2 should be present, 3 comma 3 should be present, right? Therefore, this is reflexive relation and this is not reflexive relation. Now let's form one more relation, R2. Let us say R2 equal to 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3. Fine. Along with that, let's say one more element is there. Is this reflexive? So what does the definition says? A relation is said to be reflexive if it contains all the elements of type x comma x. Yes, all elements are present. That's it. They don't specify anything about the remaining elements. The remaining elements may be present or may not be present. Therefore, by definition, since R2 contains all the elements of type x comma x, R2 is reflexive. So we need not think about this at all. Even if it is present or not, still it is reflexive. Therefore, R2 is reflexive. So what you understand from this? This R is the smallest set or smallest relation which is reflexive, right? For this example, for A equal to 1, 2, 3, the smallest relation which is reflexive on A is this 1, 2, 3, right? So in case if you have A equal to 1, 2, 3, so on n, then what is the smallest relation that will be reflexive on A? The smallest relation, let me call it Rn. The smallest relation which is reflexive on A will contain 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, so on n comma n. How many elements will be this? The number of elements will be n, isn't it? So always remember, if A contains n elements, then the smallest relation which is reflexive on A should contain n elements. Okay. What about the largest relation? See this. If this is the small, this is A, the smallest relation which is reflexive is this one. What about the largest relation which is reflexive? So along with these elements, it can contain any other elements, still it will be reflexive, isn't it? So one point worth noting here is, you can just note this point, note, if R is reflexive, then any superset of R is reflexive. So what do I mean by this? If you have all these three elements, you add any new element, still it will be reflexive, right? So let us see. This is reflexive, right? All these four elements, it is reflexive. You add any more elements, it is reflexive. Got it? Therefore, the smallest relation which is reflexive is important, and the largest relation is actually immaterial, because you add everything to that set, it will still be reflexive. Therefore, what is the size of the largest relation which is reflexive? It is nothing but A cross A. A cross A is a relation which is reflexive, right? And R is the relation which is reflexive. R is the smallest relation on A which is reflexive, and A cross A is the largest relation on A which is reflexive. Therefore, the smallest reflexive relation on A contains 3 elements, and the largest reflexive relation on A contains 3 elements. In case if A contains n elements, now tell me this: what is the smallest relation? What is the cardinality of the smallest relation which is reflexive? It is n. What is the cardinality of the largest relation which is reflexive? It is n square. Got it? Therefore, the smallest relation which is reflexive will contain, the cardinality of the smallest relation which is reflexive will contain n elements, where n is the cardinality of A, right? And the largest relation, cardinality of the largest relation on A will contain n square elements. Keep this in mind. Okay. And now let's try to see some other questions related on this.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral. which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.